What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Burning Hammer podcast. And on this episode, we are going to be going over the potential matches for WrestleMania 40, the biggest WrestleMania in the history of the WrestleManias. So let's jump right into it because we have 4 matches announced. I believe we're probably about a month away, maybe a little more than a month. But right now we just have the 4 main titles, which is the WWE Women's Championship, which is Io Sky against Bayley. We have the WWE Women's World Championship, which is Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. You've got the WWE Men's World Heavyweight Championship, which is Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. And of course, you've got the WWE Championship, which is Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. I mean, you talk about a lineup. Holy hell. Those first 4 matches. In case you're listening, Dylan's got
Paul Heyman.
He's got a Paul Heyman shirt. It says, I'm an extreme Paul Heyman guy.
No, just Paul.
He's just an extreme Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
So, I mean, dude, these matches are going to be, at least these 4 are going to be awesome.
Bangers, dude.
And it's everything we thought that was going to happen at Elimination Chamber pretty much happened. So let's get into some matches that we think could take place at WrestleMania, because I think that there's a lot of unknowns still. And so let's discuss. I think we both can agree Jimmy versus Jay.
Yeah, Jimmy versus Jay pretty much feels like a lock.
That seems pretty locked in. It's going to be interesting to see. Maybe something happened on Monday, maybe Monday Night Raw last night for the listeners or watchers, but we haven't watched Raw yet. So maybe something happens during that. Also, I'm expecting a few promos between them.
Yeah,
I'm very excited for this feud. So that feels like a pretty much like a lock. Who do you think faces off against Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship?
Yeah, you see, that seems to be the thing that they are playing possum with the most, and kind of keeping us guessing with, which truly is a ton of fun, honestly.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's the best.
As it annoys you a little bit, but like in the best way, because you're like, bro, I just want to know, I'm excited, especially like in a situation where we're going to WrestleMania for the first time. So this is like, we're like, oh my God, but it's so exciting. And in my opinion, it really feels like they're gonna do a ladder match. You said it last week. I'm not saying that it's going to be for the IC title. I'm saying it really to me feels like they're going to do a ladder match for one of them, for IC or US. I'm not sure which one. I lean more it being the US. I think that probably makes more sense. But I mean, Randy versus Logan straight up is a pretty like big match, I feel like, and does have a lot of fun. But I mean, throwing the other guys in there, I mean, yeah, dude. And Logan Paul in a ladder match. Give it to me. I want to see it. We saw him at Money in the Bank. Give it to us again.
So I think.
But sorry, I didn't even get there. The question was Gunther related. So and Eileen. Dude, Eileen. Because part of me thinks. Do you think they're gonna go singles match?
Yes.
So do I. The closer we get, the more I think it's gonna be Gable. Gable, that segment with Gable on Monday was really great.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I know
it just means more.
Dude, it's Gable. It's always been Gable. Yeah. I know that like a ton of people were kind of like lining up to face Gunther. I could see them potentially doing like a number 1 contender, fatal 4-way,
battle royal,
fatal 5-way, a battle royal. I think that's probably how they're going to get the opponent for Gunther.
Yeah,
I'm feeling pretty confident it's Gable.
What about a tournament? What about a one-night tournament?
Tournament would be sick.
No, I'm saying it would. A tournament to me, like, a regular tournament's cool, but if you do it all in one night, that is way cooler.
And like they got a regular enough time on Raw.
That's what I'm saying. And because then it's like, bro, you gotta because then you're really fighting. You gotta go through like multiple matches in the same night. You know what I mean? It's not just, I don't know. Like, it's not just like they figure it out randomly. I'd honestly prefer a one-night tournament or what are they? Or Battle Royal, to be honest. I'd like a Battle Royal.
Battle Royal would be cool. What about
as long as they do it well and then give us like the last like 3-4 guys get like 10-15 minutes to like go crazy, like that would be awesome.
What about like a shit? What about like man, I forget what it's called. Like a gauntlet where they have like 2 people wrestle and then like the next person comes out. What if they did something like that?
And like Gable started at 1 and had to go through the gauntlet
and just
or
runs
something like
through
that.
The field.
That would be cool. The only thing I don't like with that is that it's just like just like the advantage that somebody has, you know what I mean? Like I like the idea of like a tournament or a battle royal being more straight up, like even playing field. Like gauntlet match scenario is almost like, for me, I'm like gauntlet match scenario is more like they made they made Kofi and like the New Day do like gauntlet match. Remember they had them each do like gauntlet matches like on the way to Kofi Mania.
Yeah.
And then like the New Day ended up. Sorry, my throat got real dry. The New Day ended up like winning a gauntlet match, like tag team thing. And that's how Kofi got. So it's like, I say that because to me, that's more when someone's like right there and they're trying to be kept, you know what I mean? And they're trying to keep them out and they got to like claw their way through. Because then it's just like, I don't know, because think about it, right? So it's like gauntlet match, you put say Gable starts and then Sammy is your last person. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, you don't want to put that on Sammy. Then it's like Sammy's the last person. Gable's at this like underdog thing. He's made it all the way to the end. You know what I mean? So where it's like, and I'm not saying Sammy would win or saying, but I'm saying it's like, then you put Sammy in a weird spot as like one of your biggest baby faces.
I think they would put like a heel. Ludwig Kaiser.
Yeah, that is also true.
As the final spot like
that. I forgot they get to choose who goes where.
Yeah,
my bad.
I think probably the most likely scenario feels like a battle royal.
Yeah,
if I had to put money on it,
specifically,
because they love doing battle royals like that.
Yeah, and they just did one for the Chamber. But dude, give me a one-night tournament. I think that's what I want the most. Like one-night tournament between and who would be the guys? So you do a one-night tournament. Let's say you need 3 rounds. So is that 8 guys? Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many matches would that be? That's 4, 6, 7. It's only 7 matches. It's not. They have 3 hours.
Yeah. That is kind of a lot, I feel like.
That is a lot. Maybe they could do it in 2 weeks.
They could do less participants.
Like a 4-man?
Like you have
all right, so like what are the so if they were to do something like that, what are the people like as of now, like they've hinted at it on TV, like these are the people that are guaranteed like gonna be involved in the contendership, like whether they get it or not, or whether it's like a real chance that they get it. Like Sammy,
I think
Gable, Dom,
I think Ludwig.
You think Ludwig would be in the mix?
Yeah.
Just because, like, whatever. Yeah, that makes sense.
So how many is that? 4? 5?
That's 4, but there's more than those 4. Like,
potentially Jay, but I don't know if they would do that.
Nah, I feel like they might be pushing away from the Jay thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they could do those 4.
Yeah. I mean, they could do Gable versus Ludwig.
You could
they'd probably
do
do Gable versus Dom.
yeah, Gable versus Dom, and then Sammy versus
Sammy versus
Ludwig.
Ludwig.
So Ludwig gets a cheap win, and then Gable has to beat Ludwig.
Do you think that like a loss like that would hurt Sammy even more, or do you think he's just like down so bad that it kind of doesn't really
I don't know,
affect him
because
much?
it just depends what the plan is. Because also Sammy taking a loss doesn't even necessarily make sense. Like, because if he was gonna take another like loss like that, it feels like it would have came before he just got a win on, you know what I mean? Because he just got a win on Raw. Like a
Yeah.
clean win, and they were very much of like, they were like, Sami Zayn has got his swagger back.
Maybe they don't put Sammy.
The Zaniacs are going wild as Samuel Zayn makes his way back to the top. Hell of a kick for the win on Shinsuke Nakamura.
Very nice. Maybe they don't include Sammy at all.
No, they will, dude.
I don't know. I could also see them not including.
They had a
Sammy.
bro. They had a specific like stare down on Raw between Gunther and Sammy.
Yeah, but didn't a ton of people also with
like,
Gunther?
I just told you the people.
Yeah.
Gable, Sammy, Dom, and I felt like there was someone else. I mean, there was Jay, but he like, it feels like he's not going to be in the mix anymore.
Yeah. Maybe they won't do a tournament. They could. It would be sick. But
they could do a 4-man tourney. They might do it with those 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then like we said, like, I don't know what they're going to. So then it's like, what do they do with Sammy? That's
the biggest question mark. Like, I have no idea. Maybe he gets it.
Dude, and to be completely honest,
in the World Championship match.
All right, so it's like, I love Sammy so much, but I almost just like don't even want that at this point. Like, it would almost just feel cheap and like last minute, like we didn't know what to do with Sammy, especially if he loses. And it's like, I don't know. I almost don't want. You put us in that situation. Like, I want Drew to win. I want Sammy to. I really want them both to win. Don't put me in that situation. Like,
yeah, maybe they're building him up for something. They're taking a little longer. Maybe he doesn't wrestle at Mania, and maybe they're building him up now until following
there's no
WrestleMania.
way they keep Sami Zayn off of WrestleMania.
Just saying, I think there's.
You think Triple H is keeping Sami Zayn off of WrestleMania?
I think there's a chance.
I wouldn't be shocked. I would be completely. I think that's crazy. That's insane. That's insane, dude. It's Sami Zayn.
I know.
He main evented last year.
I know.
He's gonna go from main event to not on the card.
Yeah. Not everyone can get on the card.
Sami Zayn can't get on the card?
What's he gonna do?
All right, dude. All right, that's fine, dude. You don't want Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. That's fine.
That's not what I'm saying.
Because Mark doesn't like Sami Zayn, doesn't want him at WrestleMania.
Nah, I'm just saying. I just don't know what they're going to do with him, and I wouldn't be shocked.
You hear that? This guy's going nuts over here. Come here. Ah!
This guy. Bark.
Yeah. He gave me a little.
Rocky, hey. Over here.
Hey. So, this guy is trying to say that Sami Zayn shouldn't wrestle at Mania. Out of his mind, huh?
Well.
What do you got to say about that, Rockster?
So.
Anything to say?
Do you...
Sorry, buddy.
So, do you think there's a higher chance of Gable or Sammy taking on Gunther?
No, I do think you're right. I think it's more likely. I think it's going to be Gable. I lean Gable. I just I just think Sammy's being off the card is crazy. I just think that as a subjective concept is crazy. Like, people will be really upset.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I'm with you. So, what?
But I do understand where you're coming from in the sense of where you're like, what the heck? Like, what does he do? Like, they've made it very, very they've done a very good job at keeping us guessing. But I think that's what they're doing. Like, I think they're just
Yeah.
doing an incredible job at it.
I mean, my main thing with Sami Zayn being left off of the card
Solo?
is nah.
Yeah, it's like we thought about it for a half a second.
So the thing with like Sami is the only reason why I say they potentially will leave him off of the card is if they're going to do like a longer build, so he started his like winning streak now, which so like maybe that's not like super likely that they're going to leave him off now, but maybe if they're building him bigger to something more following WrestleMania, because to me it makes sense for him to be Drew's first challenger.
No, I agree with that completely.
Maybe Sami gets into the World Championship match and he doesn't take the pin, so then that's kind of how you lead to him versus Sami following that.
Yeah, maybe. I just I kind of just want Drew to have his proper moment.
Agreed. But so I agree with you with the U.S. title. I guess it feels like they're going to do a ladder match between everybody because maybe they just do Randy.
But what happened on SmackDown? Oh, we haven't had SmackDown after Chamber yet.
Right.
Because so I guess we'll get more of an answer.
Maybe a triple threat between KO, Randy, and Logan.
I feel like yeah, you might be right, but I think we can both agree a ladder match just is more like, especially because I don't know, like I feel like the pool of people is perfect. Like it's Logan, Randy, KO, LA Knight, AJ Styles, and one more.
Braun
Breaker.
Yeah, but it's also...
But that's also like, yeah, I know what you mean.
It's also...
Maybe they just do like a 4-person ladder match or a 3-person.
Maybe. Because I just think that Logan or LA Knight versus AJ is kind of a lock for a singles match.
It's like they're in Philly, bro. There needs to be some stipulations. Like they've had Extreme Rules in Philly for like every year for the past God knows how long. God, this guy's going crazy. Licking me, biting me. He wants to play. So it just feels like they got to do some sort of stipulation, right? Because
yeah,
they're in Philly of all places. And dude, they love doing ladder matches at Mania too. They didn't do, and they haven't done one in a little bit.
Yeah.
When was the last one?
I don't know. Maybe they do like a TLC.
Yeah, I could see that. Extreme Rules match. I really feel like Jimmy versus Jay might be like Tribal Combat or something like that. Like they got to
be an Extreme Rules match.
Yeah, that's what I mean, and I think they'll just call it like Tribal Combat or
yeah.
Or they were supposed to say like Tribal Combat was supposed to be no other members of the Bloodline get involved or whatever.
Yeah.
Or I don't even know what that means. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm not up to date on the rules of Tribal Combat. But
yeah.
I guess they're gonna do a ladder match. If not, probably a triple threat. I just think that we're getting LA versus AJ in a singles match.
Yeah, let them cook a little bit, but it feels a little underwhelming for the both of them. But they need to be able to have like singles feuds without titles and build them properly. So they have 6 weeks to get us a lot more. Like it's not the guys in the match. The guys in the match, like very excited. I just think, yeah, let's see what happens. 6 weeks to give us more of a build. So it's not like it's tomorrow. So I could be the match I'm most excited for by the end.
And
they're two of the best workers. So
I think it's like more of how WWE views LA Knight, where they're like, listen, we're going to put you in a non-title feud with like one of our biggest stars in the company because like you're on that same level. So I think that's kind of like what they're saying with that. Do you think we're getting Jade versus Bianca?
No.
You don't?
No.
Who do you think Bianca
Tiff.
faces? Bianca versus Tiff?
Yeah. Bro, Tiff needs to be at Mania.
I think she will.
And I was thinking, and I was like, bro, that way, because I think they want to give Jade a win. So,
yeah,
like, if she goes against Bianca, she has to lose. She can't beat Bianca.
Man.
So I'm thinking, dude, hear me out. I'm not saying I love it. I'm thinking they might do Jade versus Nia Jax, and give Jade a win. I'm just saying, I think they might.
Makes sense.
And then do Bianca versus Tiff. And I'm not saying, and I do think Jade and Bianca was the plan probably at one point. But dude, like, I don't know, this Bianca and Tiff thing is like kind of going the way they were going at it in the chamber. And Tiff is on fire, dude. They were going so crazy for her. Dude, she's amazing. That was a star-making performance for her. Like,
yeah. We'll look back at Elimination Chamber for her and be like, that was the moment. She's
so good. Well, and that's the other thing. Like, you hear, and people have talked about it, but like, she's only been wrestling for like 3 years. You know what I mean? She was like she was a gymnast, and you know what I mean? And look what they did, just training her for a few years, and what she was able to do. She's incredible. Like, she's
crazy athletic.
She was born for this, dude. Like, she was born.
Yeah.
Like, she's got the character work. She's got the look. Like, she can talk, and in the ring, she's crazy.
Yeah. So, man, what do you think? Yeah, Jade versus Nia makes sense because she eliminated her in the Rumble and just threw her around.
What if KO? All right. What if they? I'm not saying I love this. What if they do something where like KO and Sammy both don't have a match, and they're just like, "Fuck it, you want to go, man? Mano y mano, boy versus boy." They're just like not even in a feud. They're just like, let's figure it out. Let's run it back. That would be kind of cool. That would almost be cooler than them feuding.
Yeah,
because we're just so used to them. I don't know. Like, they feuded. They're friends and they're not friends and they're friends. It's fun to just have them be friends. To be honest. Like, I'm not saying. I guess you could have the feud one more time. In my opinion, the only way to do the feud again is to have Sammy turn, because KO's been the heel in it every single time. So, they probably need to have Sammy turn. But that would kind of be cool. Like, I think I would kind of like that. I would like it more than them feuding. This dog's going nuts, dude.
I agree. I think like them being like, we're both not on the card.
Yeah.
We think if we just run this by Adam Pearce.
Hey,
and we
what about Cena
on the card?
What about Cena?
Cena. You think Cena's on the card?
Could be. But who does he go against? That's the question.
A lot of people are saying potentially
he's partnering with Cody.
Yeah. That would kind of be cool.
That would be sick. That would be sick as fuck, dude. Let Cena come back and cook the Rock one last time.
That would be awesome.
I don't like Dwayne Johnson. Bro, can we talk about, just real quick, Cody on Monday? Holy fuck, dude. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
He is the best.
He kind of just...
He's the top guy.
He's good. He's just
he's really good. Cody Rhodes is very good. Yeah, dude, I mean,
he kind of just like said what I think this is what we talked about when we said he was gonna cook him. Was just like, he just pointed out like all of the like cheap jabs and the cheap jokes that The Rock does. Yeah, he was just like, oh, he's probably gonna say this and this, and then he'll say something about that and that. I'm like, yeah, it's exactly what he's gonna say.
Yeah, he's like, and he'll say what did he say? he told him, he was like, apologize or say this thing, and then Rhodes just cut him off, and he was just like, you want to know why I haven't gone in on this microphone on your buddy Dwayne? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On Dwayne Johnson or whatever, and like all that stuff. And then he says the bloodline are not what do you say? He said the bloodline aren't hunting me. I'm hunting
them.
The bloodline. Or yeah,
that shit was tight.
Hunting them.
Yeah.
Like that was the thing where he was like, where he's like, where you at? He was like, come on. He was like, I want them to show up. He's like, I'm looking for that. Like, oh my God. He's the man, dude.
Dude, it's going to be a special moment.
It's going to be crazy to see what happens on Friday. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Shit, dude. It's going to be pretty crazy. And then, dude, we just need Cody to just fucking show up on SmackDown.
Yeah, I think he will.
Eventually. I don't think he will this week.
I mean, because The Rock is booked for like the next 3 SmackDowns.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to get another face-to-face, maybe this week for those watching.
Do you think it's... How likely do you think it is that someone besides Seth is Cody's tag team partner against Rock and Roman? And also, I mean, do you think that's still what's happening? Because I still do. I still think they're going with the tag match.
I agree.
I think Seth would have been like a part of that segment, or a part like they wouldn't. Seth wouldn't still be involved if he wasn't. Unless, no, I'm saying unless he might step aside for Cena. Like I can definitely see that happening. But if Seth,
but I also don't know how much that would make sense because Cody just stepped aside for The Rock. You know what I mean? And then he's going to step aside for Cena. Like, he would obviously be different, but...
Yeah, I think it's unlikely, probably, the more I think about it. Especially with, like, Seth saying, like, after that promo on Raw, he's like, it is my business. Like...
Well, and also, I would say the chances of it not being Seth would be pretty high if it were not for the WrestleMania 40 like
trailer.
Teaser,
yeah, that's
where
the
it's
other
literally
thing, yeah.
Rock and Roman.
Feels pretty
and
obvious there.
Facing off.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
That's the moment that it's getting locked in. If it's not Seth, then it's going to be Cena. I don't think it's going to be anyone else, but I think there's 99% chance that it's probably going to be Seth. And who knows? Maybe they do Cody versus Rock night 1, but I think as it stands right now, it would be odd to not have Seth in the tag match or kind of involved with this, especially after that great line we had a couple of weeks ago. He was talking about he's the right person to be the Shield and whatnot. There's a lot of question marks out there with matches. And
what about the tag?
Tag, I think Creed Brothers.
Straight up, just one-on-one?
I could see a fatal 4-way. I think there's also
I could also see them doing ladder match for the tag titles.
Yeah. I think that's...
You think they're going to introduce a new pair of tag titles, or you think they're going to wait till after Mania?
No, I think they do it... man. I think they do it at Mania. I think... Fatal 4-way...
They got to figure it out soon. They got to start building to it soon.
I think Fatal 4-way for the Judgment Day's titles. I think they have a ladder match for the new vacant titles. And so the Judgment Day's titles will stay on Raw. And then the new titles will be for SmackDown. And I think they could do like, even just like I think they probably have enough teams, but if they feel like they can't do a 6 tag team ladder match, then I think they could just get away with doing like 4, like a Fatal 4-way ladder match. But yeah, I think that feels like that kind of feels like what they're going to do. It feels like the play for the tag team titles. Maybe they do Creed Brothers straight up. Maybe they do DIY again, but it's going to be interesting to see. There's going to be a lot of super good matches. I'm very excited for WrestleMania, and as the weeks go on, we're probably going to get a bit more of an indication about what matches are going to be taking place. But that's going to wrap it up for your boys. You let us know in the comments down below, what match do you think is going to take place that we didn't bring up? If there's a match that you feel pretty confident about that we didn't really discuss, let us know in the comments below. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We officially hit 1,000 subscribers. We didn't mention that, but we did it, and it's all because of the Burning Hammer universe. If you're listening via audio...
That was fucking... Yeah!
So if you're listening via audio streaming service, thank you. Make sure to follow or subscribe the show, and make sure to leave us a review and rate the show. Rating the show is the best way for us to find a new audience, so make sure to do that. And if you weren't aware, we are available wherever you listen to your podcasts. And if you are listening, Dillon just put on his Lucha Libre mask, and honestly, it looks pretty sick. You got the hair flowing out. It looks very, very cool. With that being said, that's going to wrap it up. I'm Mark. He's Dillon. And this has been another episode of the Burning Hammer Podcast. We'll catch you next week.